Reassured. And this high radiation was detected with Geiger counters.
Unless you were high from what I was smoking, I don't know.
I was only about 10 years old when this happened with us.
Yeah, I know. And as I recall, I was fixing supper because Mama hadn't come home, and I was thinking, well, we all got to eat, so let's get something fixed. I was kind of pretty much stable.
So it was kind of late at night, wasn't it? A little bit.
Well, it was late afternoon, I think. Yeah,
Well, it was definitely dark.
It was after dark.
And was it fall? I'm trying to think. It was about fall time, maybe.
Late summer, I think.
Late summer.
Yeah.
About this time of year.
Yeah, because we weren't wearing much, and I think the door was kind of open. I don't think it was shut to try to keep warm or anything. It was just been a nice day, and I think the door was just open. And I remember going out, hearing that noise, and just running out. And what the hell was that? I never heard that before. I expected to see a big old bomber going across the sky or something,
It wasn't no big bomber, was it?
No, never really figured out what it was, but I know from my past experience that in the night sky, your imagination completely takes over. There's nothing.
Well, yeah, but your imagination can take over, but this thing was enormous, and it was a lot of lights, and it was right over our house.
It was different sounds than I was ever used to that I never heard before. I mean, you can't say, well, I saw something I didn't see before. We heard something that we didn't hear before.
And you seen it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah, with a witness.
Yes.
Yeah. And a best witness.
Yeah.
A young man that was still pretty factual, so to speak. And I didn't say nothing to you, try to encourage you. I just wanted to hear what your response was after it. And I remember what you said. You said, well, Dad, I guess it is a UFO.
Yeah. Nothing like that. I've never seen anything move like that before. And
yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure. But I had already seen some things in the sky that I couldn't identify either. And I talked to John Kennedy about it, and he said, well, you're pretty close to Griffiths, and they got this one kind of airplane, blah, 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 that does this and that. And he was in the military reserve at that time, so he was a little more familiar with what was going on in Griffiths than I was.
he was trying to give you an idea of what he knew that they had, and then it wasn't nothing like what we've seen.
It was probably that or this or,
I don't know. It moved from our house to about 10 miles away and came to an abrupt stop so fast and then left.
When it left us, that was the most, just the revolution of how can anything go that fast? We weren't watching it go fast. We were hearing it go fast. Now that's quite a play on the human mind right there.
Yeah, I remember looking at it on the front of the house, above the house, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, and we turned left.
The only thing we ever saw was lights coming down and shining in different places, like spotlights or something from it. Did you remember that?
I remember a lot of lights, yes.
Yeah, there was lights coming down to the ground, and that's what really intrigued me. And the second scene was exactly like the first. Everything just happened again, just like, well, let's run this again on these humans and see how they respond to it,
Yeah, that's how you took it?
Well, later on, that's how I took it. After thinking about it,
I kind of interpreted it as they dropped off beings like these 3-foot beings Travis Walton's talking about, and they're observing us. And then they came back to pick them up, maybe.
There wasn't anything to observe.
Not that we could see, because you were looking up.
Nothing there in Florence.
They hide really good. These things can hide.
It's like, what are they doing? Looking for deer?
They got a technology I've learned since then, Dad. They got a technology that can make them look like a shadow in the darkness.
Yeah, technology is going weird.
Well, yeah, what we have, but what they have is beyond what we have.
Well, we don't know what they have. I mean, what they have is is our intelligence gone weird too.
It sure has.
And artificial intelligence is something really to be feared at this point of time. They need to get a handle onto it, just like they never really got a handle on the internet. They should have right from the start, before they ever allowed it to go any farther. They should have got rules and regulations onto it, but they never did. And now we're suffering all this damn things that's happening.
Shut up!
And the same with this space age. If they want to do anything about it, what they got to do is get a handle on it all and take what they know and what it could be and give the education to the people so they can decipher from then on.
But that's the thing. The government already knows what's going on, who they are, and where they're coming from. But they don't think that we can.
I don't think they know any more than we do. They just
Eisenhower.
They just
I found evidence that Eisenhower and other world political leaders and even religious leaders were approached back in the 60s.
Yeah, but I mean, try to put some
by
sense
these
to
beings.
it. The only way you can put sense to it is document it over and over
And over
again through the years.
70 years now we've been documenting it. Yes.
But
there's pictures of these people that.
I don't think so. I think the government likes to take something and hide it from us, and then they like to research it.
Yeah.
For whatever standpoint, like how if they make a move on us, how can we retaliate or how can we defend ourselves?
Yeah, that's why they figure that they're a threat, because they don't know how to defend themselves against them. That's the only reason they're a threat.
Well, you can't defend unless you get to a point where you can know. The same thing with the Chinese government. I just read an article in the Times here again. Boy, I'm telling you, the FBI is now aware of them and trying to bring the espionage into focus, and they can't because they haven't done anything with it for so long, and the Chinese have been doing it for so long.